Hello everyone and welcome to Training Tuesday. I am Lori with Behavior Education at Spirit Keeper Equine Sanctuary. Today is Tuesday, December 1st, 2020, and in this week's Training Tuesday, you're going to get to see 6 different learners, all at different levels in their training, working through at least one training repetition. This is going to include 6 different species. It's going to include Amunet, our royal python, Vashti, a false water cobra, Tuvok, a corn snake, Macel, a children's python, Ariam, a coastal carpet python, and finally Sunspear, one of our bredli pythons.
Amunet is a 1-year-old python regius, and she's at just the early stages of target training. We've already done stage 1 where we've paired the target with reinforcement, in this case food, and now we're in step 2 where we're showing her the target first, and then when she reacts to it by moving towards it, tongue flicking at it, and not retreating from it, we go ahead and present the food reinforcement for her. Vashti is a 6-month-old false water cobra. She's only been with me about a month, and we've done a couple of sessions where we've paired the target with food reinforcement. Now I'm showing her the target a few seconds before the food. She responded to the sight of the target, so then I presented the food reinforcement, and she did not hesitate to come out and take it. Here, that is again in slow motion. This is Vashti's 4th repetition during the same training session. Repetitions 2 and 3 I did video, and those will be part of a different presentation because there was a lot of behavior demonstrated during repetitions 2 and 3 that I'm going to put in its own video. But repetition 4 was pretty simple. I presented the target to her and the reinforcement and waited for her to respond, which she did very quickly. So I've slowed the video down so that you can see how she actually comes out and takes the food. Her speed at coming forward and taking the reinforcement and going back into her hide is not exactly conducive to using this training for other things, and so it's definitely something that we have to work on with her, to come out calmly, to come out further and take the food more calmly. This is our corn snake Tuvok. He's about 1.5 years old. He came from Port City Pet. This is a pretty simple training session. He was in his hide. I presented the target to him and he starts coming out of his hide right away. I know that you can't see him yet because the PVC perch is in the way and the camera angle isn't really conducive to you seeing this beginning behavior, but he is coming out of his hide, which is why I'm moving the target further up. I'm getting him to follow it up, and here he is going over his PVC perch, and then I'm getting him to follow the target out of the enclosure, and he's doing that very calmly. He's doing it very fluently and pretty confidently. And then at the point where I want him to stop, I stop moving the target. He stops. I am a poor trainer here and drop his reinforcement. However, it didn't mess him up at all. He calmly waited for it and took it nicely, and he ate it there very calmly in my presence. So this was all good. This is a quick training session with our children's python, Macel, who was out exercising, and I interrupted his exploration and exercise session to do a target training repetition with him and feed him, and it went very well. No problem here. Very confident learner, and the behavior was very fluent. Our next learner is Ariam. She is a 2-year-old coastal carpet python, and I went ahead and set up the camera and the tripod and opened her enclosure door, and then I left to go get the target and the tongs and the food, and she started coming towards the door on her own when I left, which I thought was pretty impressive because when she arrived here, she was quite a shy snake, and I had to start her training when she was in hiding. So she would be in her hide with just her nose sticking out And that's how we started her target training. So this is pretty impressive for her. She's been here since August, so she's been here 3 months, and I think she's doing really well. She's becoming more confident. She's understanding the behavior that's being asked for her. She's very cautious about it, but she's very fluent about it. So she is taking her time, but she is not hesitating, and she's not doing any approach and retreat. She is moving forward, and she's committed to moving to the target. She holds in position and very, very fluently and immediately takes the reinforcer when it's offered. Our last learner for this Training Tuesday is Sunspear. She is about 3.5 years old, and she is a female Bredli's python. I've been using the target as a cue for her to exit her enclosure, and then I've been using the target to guide her to shift onto this activity stand. Well, I opened her door and went to get the target stick, and it seems that she has, through our many training sessions, gotten the idea that when the activity stand is there and I open the door, that in itself is a cue for her to come out, and that's just fine. That means that I can eliminate use of the target at this point to cue her to exit her enclosure, and I can just roll the activity station up there and open the door, and that in itself should be a cue for her to exit. But this is the first time that she has done this on her own without being cued first with the target. This means that now I can start using the target to guide her to a specific location that I want her to be in. And so I start this session by practicing that just a little bit here. I'm just going to use the target to get her to change direction and change her focus from where it was to me, which is to her left or to your right as you're watching the video. She does a very good job of reorienting towards the target, and then I go ahead and reinforce that. So she did a great job.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed that. And until next time, please remember to always be kind and love your animals.